Welcome to the PowettPlay podcast, where international cricketer Kieran Powell and marketing genius Shannon join forces, bringing you captivating conversations with the biggest players in cricket and business. Join us as we dive into the lives of current stars in the cricketing world, the legends before them, and those extraordinary icons whose performances changed the game in both cricket and business. Exploring journeys both on and off the pitch, the boardroom, and everything in between. Get ready for an exhilarating blend of cricket, life, and business insights, with two insatiably passionate, infuriatingly no-holds-barred hosts, who, unfortunately for the rest of us, live and breathe this stuff for a living.
Hello, everybody. And as me and Kieran mentioned on the previous podcast, we will be looking at reviewing and analysing each phase of the West Indies Championship. And after the finishing of the first set of games yesterday, me and Kieran are going to go through, and Kieran ultimately is going to name his 11 after the first round of fixtures. So fire away, Mr. Powell.
No, thank you for having me today, Jordan. As the newly elected chairman of selectors for the Powett Elite Cricket Podcast West Indies Championship and the unofficial chairman of selectors for the West Indies Cricket Board, I think it was relatively slow start to the season. You sort of expect that. That's sort of been the norm of the past few years. You've seen spinners obviously playing a big role in teams getting wins. I was personally disappointed from the fast bowling aspect of things. Obviously, as I mentioned, that's going to be one of the areas in which I think for West Indies going forward, that you need to have strong performances from the seamers and on a regional standpoint. So I'm hoping as the season goes on that picks up. But without further ado, I'm going to get into announcing the 12-man squad that has been selected after this week's round of matches. Opening up, we've got Cephas Cooper from Trinidad. Trinidad only batted once. He got a score of 80. I think it's good to see a young player come in, and obviously I think he'd have played a few first-class games before, but now he's looking like he's starting the season well, and hopefully he can go on to get some more big scores and knock on the door. Along with him, I've got my captain for the week, Kamal Savory from Guyana, scoring 99. He only batted once in that match. His first game as captain for Guyana, and obviously overhauling the Barbados Pride. So I think it would have been a very good week for him. Obviously, he'd have liked to cap it off with that century. 99, long way, but starts from 0 in the next round, but very well done to him. My number 3.
Now, was it any thought of maybe going with John Campbell at the top of the order?
There was, but for me, experienced players, once you have them sort of performing on par with the younger players, because remember what I said in the last podcast, I'm expecting my senior players to set a benchmark. Differentiate yourself from the junior players. So initially John Campbell was in my original squad, but on further investigation, I thought that these two young guys sort of merited a place as well. And so did John Campbell. He came in for heavy consideration. And he's someone that I'll be watching throughout the season as well. My number 3, I've gone with Jid Gooley. Scored 121 for the Trinidad and Tobago cricket team. They only batted once. I think that Jed had a very good season last year. I think he may have scored 2 centuries last season. And to start this season on a high, following up from last season, bodes well for him. We've seen what a good season has done for Amir Jangu and his stock, and taking him on to further honours and what he's gone on to do for the West Indies thus far, early in his career. So I think exciting start of the season for Jed Gooley, and it's another guy that I'll be keeping a very close eye on for the rest of the season. Number 4 is a young man that I think has got all the ability in the world, and I think that he will play a big part in the future of West Indies cricket. Kevlon Anderson scored a century for the Guyana Harpy Eagles down there in that victory over the Barbados Pride. Good to see him starting the season on a high. A winning knock as well, leading his franchise to overhauling the Barbados first innings total, which was quite a substantial score. Very, very, very good innings from him. Number 5, I've gone for a bit of experience in Jason Mohammed, 38-year-old, evergreen, effervescent, 176.
He's got,
I think has to get a nod. Yeah, when someone comes in and performs like this. Last year, he had a relatively good season as well. I think he's been a consistent performer for Trinidad and Tobago, and it's nice to see that they continue to allow for him to be in and around the team and contributing and providing that level of seniority that is needed in regional cricket, so that the younger players have someone to learn from and a mentor in and around the dressing room, as well as his performances, as you can tell here by him scoring 176. So very, very happy to have Jason Mohammed in this week's 11. Number 6, we've gone for Mr. Jermaine Blackwood. Newly
all-rounder. The all-rounder role.
Newly minted all-rounder. 109 first innings, 75 second innings, and he got a 3-for in the first innings bowling as well. I saw some clips of the bowling, and I must say,
I thought he bowled a bit of off-spin.
He tries a bit of everything, but my oh my. Would I be licking my lips with Jermaine Blackwood running into both for me? I think the Windward Islands batters probably drowned in a bit of honey, as the old colloquial term would go in the Caribbean. But very good performance from him with the bat.
Can't take anything away from him for that.
As I said at the start of the season, this is what you're looking for senior players. Obviously, the guys that would have gone away with the West Indies team, senior guys like Blackwood that are probably in and around domestic cricket and still trying to vie for a spot in the West Indies team. This is what I'm expecting from them, to knock down the door. I don't expect them to come and sort of score the same amount of runs as younger players and expect for the system and to get better and for themselves to get selected. So this is a very good start for him. I've gone for Jamar Hamilton at number 7, my wicketkeeper batter. Had a good game, 81 and 46. For Jamar Hamilton, I'd like to see him push on and get some centuries. This is a conversation I've been having with him for quite some time now. I think, like, for me, it seems as though like he loses concentration or he gets tired or whatever the case is, because he generally tends to 40s are standard for him, and then when he gets to the 80s, the 70s, those are the areas in which he needs to just push through and get that one century, in my opinion, which will sort of open up that floodgate and that bring that level of familiarity. Okay, the monkey's off my back. I've done it. I can go about
kick on now,
more consistently. So that's the one thing I'd like to see from him, because as we know, there is openings in the team, in my opinion, from 1 to 7 in the West Indies team. So if he has a strong season, I think that what's stopping him from playing for the West Indies again, there's nothing blocking him at the moment.
And what would you say about his glove work? Is he a solid gloveman as well?
I think he's the best gloveman in the Caribbean.
Right. Okay.
Hands down, it's and again, as I said, in my opinion, I think where the other guys beat him is that they probably are more consistent with the bat. They probably get bigger scores with the bat, but in terms of pure out and out glove work, he's definitely ahead of the other guys. So it's a balancing act now where if he can sort of have a solid season. I think he'll be there and thereabouts because it's just going to be an interesting term now with Darren Sammy coming in as head coach and lead selector as well.
Yeah, definitely. So into your bowlers now. So you mentioned before, obviously, this has been focused, from the spinners. So I'm interested to see what you've gone with, from a pace perspective.
Well, for my number 8, and this is a guy that I'm going to have an eye out for this season. I've gone for Matthew Ford.
Yeah, super. Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, this would be his debut match for Barbados. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he made his first class debut, yeah.
Okay, perfect. 5 for 69, and he got 82 as well.
Yeah,
and I think that you've seen throughout his brief limited overs career, he's someone that has the ability to bat, but obviously coming in later on doesn't allow you to, I guess, play in a manner that will, I guess, show his full ability. So him playing 4-day cricket, naturally he gets the white ball to do quite a bit. So with the red ball, you expect him to be a good bowler. And his batting is what I'm really interested in to see how much he can sort of kick on. So very good start from him. I'll be watching him. He's the only seamer that got a 5-wicket haul in this round. And for that being his debut match for Barbados, it's a very strong performance to start with. So hopefully he can kick on from here. Number 9, I've gone for Joshua Bishop from the academy team, left arm orthodox spinner. 10-wicket haul, hard to say no to that. He's got a 7-4 and a 3-4. Obviously, unfortunately for him, it was in a losing cause, but Joshua is also a very good lower order batter as well. So I think he's someone that, could be in the mold of the very Sami Permals, the Rakeem Cornwalls, that he racks up big numbers of wickets regionally for probably the next 10, 12, 15 years.
Yeah, big time.
I think it's just a matter of, time before, obviously, the Warwickans, the Mortys, etc., sort of age out, and you have the likes of a Joshua Bishop coming into the fray. But he's someone that would have played A-team cricket last year as well, and so I think that would obviously be a big stepping stone for him, knowing that he's on the brink of a West Indies selection. So very good start for him with the 10-wicket haul. He's someone I'm expecting to have 50 plus wickets this season, so I'll be keeping an eye on that wicket tally as well.
Started superbly well to get 50 wickets anyway, so he's well on the way.
Correct. Number 10, I've gone for another debutant, Cameron Pennyfeather.
Right, okay. So he's your other quick then, isn't he, effectively?
He's my other seamer. I wouldn't say he's my other quick. I wouldn't flatter him that much. I know he'll be watching this. I told him he was bowling pace the speed that I generally sweep. So I'm not sure I'd flatter him and say he's my other seamer, but all fun and jokes aside, 3 for 15 in his debut match. He bowled 2 tidy spells in the 2 innings that I sort of saw clips of. Good areas, got the ball to do enough to cause trouble for the batsman, and was relatively economical as well. So that would be my second seamer. And to round out my playing 11, I've gone with a young leg spinner from Jamaica by the name of Tamari Redwood.
Okay.
I think what's interesting to me here, I think he's 18, 19, something like that. And the control that I saw him display in that second innings,
18.
Skipper John Campbell calling upon him to win his country a game in his first class debut. Second innings, when spinners generally have their way, for him to answer that call and get 7 for 72, I think is no mean feat. I think that he's someone that obviously at this age and being able to put in a performance like that this early, someone that has to be nurtured. I could have gone with a host of other players, but I think just from raw potential and obviously looking at the future of West Indies cricket, a leg spinner in any form of the game is obviously something that you want to have. It's a wicket-taking option, and so he proved in this match. So very excited to see what the rest of the season holds for this young leg spinner. And to round out, sorry, Jordan, just to round out my squad, because I picked a 12th man.
Oh, you did do a 12, yeah.
Yeah, just to close it out, I've gone for Kieran Powell, who got 2 for 50 and 7 for 40.
Yeah, you got 7 as well, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, he could have been selected into the 12 instead of Redwood, but I just went for the leg spin option instead of having 2 left arm spinners. But I just thought that it would be deserving of Kieran Powell to be selected into the squad based on getting a 7 for. It's not often that people get those types of hauls. Mind you, there were 3 in this round of matches alone. But no, I think it was a very, very impressive performance by him, leading Trinidad and Tobago to victory over the combined colleges and campuses. So that is the very first team of the regional 4-day tournament. And I'm hoping to see a lot more strong performances coming from the batters and from the seam bowlers. So I know what to expect from the spinners. And as I said, for me, the benchmark would be young batters averaging over 50, spinners below 20, seam bowlers before 25, senior, more established batters, 3 or more centuries. Go dominant.
Yeah. And I think from a spin perspective, I know you discussed there, I think the leg spinning performance that you mentioned, with Trinidad and Tobago only batting once, the pressure was probably a lot less on that. Whereas with Tamari Redwood, I felt that it was a lot more it had played a lot more of an influence on the result of the game. And I think that's, I'd like to look at measuring that as well. We spoke about setting the criteria, but you look at some of the performances and they've really influenced games as well, which is very important, obviously, to do as well. So I think it's a really good review of the squad of 12 there, and hopefully, like you said, with the likes of Teddy Bishop and stuff, to kick on and get the 50 wickets as well. That's what you want to see, that consistency.
Joshua Bishop,
that that's the consistency. That's what we spoke about, sort of thing as well. Was there anyone else who you thought of disappointed potentially with, or any other things that you sort of picked up on that's worth having a chat over?
It's early days in the season. You saw a lot of batters get to 50 and get out. There are quite a number of half centuries. We need to sort of work on, obviously, batters converting stats and getting centuries, and not only getting centuries, getting big centuries. Do what Jason Mohammed did. Go and get 150 plus, get double hundreds, get acquainted and get accustomed to batting for long periods of time, scoring big centuries and doing it week in and week out as well, not just one for the season. Go and get 600 plus runs this season, go and get 700 plus runs, make it a stiff competition, because, as I said, currently positions 1 to 7 are open. My take on it is the bowling lineup for the West Indies team sort of fixes itself with Kimar Roach, Jaden Sayers, Shamar Joseph, Alzari Joseph. If you're going to play a 4th seamer, you've got Gudakesh Moti, Jamil Warrikan as your spin bowling options. So you've already got 6 people that select themselves. Now it's just for a wicket keeper and 6 batters to select themselves. Go and dominate. Prove to everyone why you should be in one of those 7 spots.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. That's it. It's that point of going doing it. You've had this, some of these, some of the names we mentioned there. You've had the start. Go and make it a championship to remember. And really go and drive that home and leave it near on impossible for the selectors not to leave you out.
100%.
I'm sure over the next few weeks can do that, and compliments to how smartly dressed you are, sir.
I take my job very seriously. There'll be a host of different suits coming through over the next 6 weeks that are remaining in the season. It may be somewhat of an NBA pre-game walk
Right. Okay.
Turn it into a fashion show. But no, I think obviously this is for a good cause.
No, of course.
Obviously, we're having a laugh about it, but we're trying to identify the next batch of talent for the West Indies team, as well as identifying people that can slot into current positions as well.
Absolutely. Well, fantastic, and we'll look forward to seeing what's around the corner and what the future next rounds produce, and we can review it from there.
100%. Thank you for joining our press conference, and we hope that this team represents us well.
Yeah, absolutely. See you all soon.
Thank you for joining us on the PowettPlay podcast, hosted by Kieran Powell and Jordan Shannon. We hope you enjoyed this immersive dive into the world of cricket and business, exploring the unique experiences and perspectives of players past and present, alongside those invaluable insights into intriguing business themes that transcend beyond the boundaries of sporting heroics. Be sure to set your reminders on your Alexa or Google Home device. Or we won't tell anyone if you still use those paper calendar things from a bygone era. Join us next time for more inspiring dialogue with scintillating minds on the PowettPlay podcast.